Alright, last one on this page. We want to sketch the surface that's rotated around the x-axis that follows this equation 4x squared minus 9y squared equals 36. And again, we're going to restrict that domain, this time between the x values of -8 and +8. So before we do anything, we're going to put this in magnification form. To do that, I'm going to divide all these terms by 36. When I do that, I'm going to be left with x squared over 9, which I'll write as 3 squared down here at the bottom. And then minus y squared over 4, which I'll say is 2 squared, and that's equal to 1. Alright, so we do have our equation now in magnification form. We've got a hyperbola that's centered at 0, 0. Again, x is the positive term here, so we are going to be having a hyperbola that opens up left and right. And then the last thing I want to do is find the slopes of my asymptotes. So, change in y over change in x, number under y over number under x, and then positive and negative. So I have asymptotes that have a slope of 2/3 and -2/3. Again, our hyperbola is centered at 0, 0. So I'm just going to draw my axes in. And then I'm going to draw my asymptotes. So center at the origin. From the origin, or from the center, draw a line that has a slope of positive 2/3. And then draw a line that has a slope of -2/3. Alright, so I've got my axes and my asymptotes set up here. The last thing we're going to do is draw in the vertices. Again, this hyperbola opens up left and right, which means we're going to be moving 3 units to the left and 3 units from the right of the center. So my 2 vertices are going to look like that. And then we're also restricting the domain -8 to +8. So I'm just going to draw kind of a little guideline here. And we're going to make sure that our hyperbola, the curve of our hyperbola, does not extend past these 2 lines here. So when I sketch my curve, we're going to follow the asymptote, and I'm going to stop at -8, and I'm also going to make sure I stop at +8. So that's what our hyperbola is going to look like. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take that and rotate it around the x-axis. So we're going to spin the x-axis this time. And what happens when I turn the x-axis are these 2 curves are going to rotate around the x-axis, and they're going to create almost like 2 cups opening up left and right. So what happens is we get a shape that looks like this. And then another shape over here, it's going to look like that. And that is our hyperboloid rotated around the x-axis.